Hey beautiful souls, David Essery here, and happy December to you. I love December. It's my favourite times of the year. I have to admit I'm a big Christmas person, my birthday's in December, and of course the amazing December solstice I always absolutely love. Just because such incredible things happen. It's always the culmination of the year. All of the pathways we've been moving through, all of the stuff kind of comes to a close as we move into a new year. It's always such an exciting period. And I wanted to do a video today to share a message with you from the Masters, as always, just to give us an idea, a flavour for the energies of the month ahead. And this time, the glorious Lord Lanto stepped through. I'll share this with you now. This is what he had to say. Beautiful souls of the light, tremendous blessings I call down in your name. Triumphant times we live in, which call for triumphant celebrations. Allow my words here to call upon the threads of your soul lineage, granting thine child a tug of the spiritual senses, so one can be lifted up above the fog of density, so that you may see that all that holds you back is the excretion of a dying paradigm. Allow yourself to stand tall and mighty, so that you may witness that fog is merely a wisp at your ankles. Praise be, for you are witnessing divine love in action. Even at this very moment, the great gift of his unending grace moves through the atmosphere, making clean every atom within the realm of the physical. Take note, for all around you opportunity beckons. There has never been a time on earth as bountiful as this. You may look around you and see fear, greed, or control. But I ask that you recognize this as a desperate attempts to cling to a construct that no more holds its form than the sands of time. The end is nigh. The earth is entering a new spring, one where the density dissolves and new and bountiful energy flows in abundance. A choice lies before you. You may continue to focus your energy into mourning the loss of your waning captors, or you may embrace the new paradigm, align with its energy, and become its conscious director, so that you may become the architect of a great and bountiful future. This is my guidance to you. Yours in humble regard, Lord Lanto. There we go. Thank you, Lord Lanto. He was really charged up with this. He was very excitable, which is such a lovely energy to be in, and I hope that comes through in it as well. Let's just talk about this a little bit more. Obviously, he's referring really to a massive shift that we've just undergone with the collapsing of the third dimension. If you follow my channel, or perhaps even attended the workshop with Tim Wilde and I, you'll be well aware of this. But in November, we came together as a group and unified our light to dissolve the energetic construct of the third dimension. Basically, the form that's been created over the last 10,000 years on Earth as an energetic collection of all of the kind of greed and control and all of the lower third dimensional instincts, that has kind of ruled this world for so long. All of that energy that's been put into that created this energy field around our planet that was then supporting all of the further and continued attempts. And we dissolved that field in November. This is like momentous stuff, massive, game-changing stuff for our planet. That, of course, doesn't mean that they have stopped their attempts or are going to stop their attempts, but it does not have the same energy that it had before it. And Melchizedek said at the time, it's going to fall on deaf ears. We've undergone a massive transformation, of course, as well at the Lionsgate this year, where more and more people are rapidly waking up. And these attempts at control, they're just not going to work. People are going to see through it. And it's all crumbling apart. And we're seeing the after effects of this already. It just seems to be like every single day I'm seeing stuff coming out of the shadows at the moment. Things are moving really, really rapidly. And of course, because of this, we've essentially created a new world already. It's not the same world that it was at the beginning of November. Yes, it's a world in transition as we're moving through the energy into, we're about to go through the solstice and then into a brand new year. But it's already different. And I can see this in a reflection of what he's talking about. So he kicked this off really, really beautifully. He said, "Tremendous blessings I call down in your name. Triumphant times we live in, which call for triumphant celebrations." And as chaotic as the world may seem right now, as challenging as things may seem, it's really, really important that we try. I'm a firm believer in embracing how we're feeling, whatever you're experiencing as we go through these changes with the world in chaos. I don't ever want people to bury those feelings. If you're feeling stuff, accept it, dig into it, feel it, understand it, and work through it. Burying things is the last thing that we should be doing. But at the same time, Lord Lanto is basically calling us to a perception shift. It's not to say that things aren't wrong in the world, or that we should ignore it, or that we should, just focus on the positive and pretend the other stuff isn't happening, because of course it's happening and it affects us all. But he's asking us, the easiest way to say, he's asking us to see the glass as half full. Hopefully that's a familiar expression. I don't know how well that travels around the world, but when we've got a glass of water, we've got a choice as to whether that's half empty or half full. At the end of the day, it's the same amount of water, but it's our perception of it. And this is what Lord Lanto is calling us to just perhaps look at the positives of what's happening in the world right now. He says, "Allow my words here to call upon the threads of your soul lineage, granting thine child a tug of the spiritual senses, so that one can be lifted above the fog of density." He's flowing his energy through this message to lift us up through its vibration, to assist us to see above everything that's happening in the world, to see it from a higher perspective. He says, "So that you may see that all that holds you back is the excretion of a dying paradigm." Essentially what we're seeing, when he says so that you may see that all that holds you back, he's referring to, to the collective you, us as a species. What's holding us back is just the excretion of a dying paradigm. It's just the energy, the density that's being kicked off as everything is crumbling down. It's the last desperate attempts to hold on to things. This isn't going to be the next 10,000 years. This isn't going to be the next 100 years. It may not even be the next 5 to 1 year. Who knows at this point in time? But it is the end. He says, "Allow yourself to stand tall and mighty, so that you may witness that fog is merely a wisp at your ankles." It may feel when you're in the energy of it that it's all encompassing and all we can experience is what's happening in the world. But when we lift our energy up, we hold ourselves above it and we look at this from a highest perspective, it's just a little bit of fog around our ankles, and yet we are so far above it where we are right now. That's how far we've come. He says, "Praise be for your witnessing divine love in action. Even at this very moment, the great gift of his unending grace moves through the atmosphere, making clean every atom within the realm of the physical." He's referring, of course, to the incredible light and incredible energy that's washing over our planet every single day at the moment. Of course, we've got the solstice coming and the the influx of Christ light that comes with that. But every day, the energy we're being bathed in is just incredible, and it's purifying everything. This supportive energy of the 3D construct is gone, and there is nothing maintaining it in place. So this energy can just wash through and really purify things at such a deep level right now. And of course that creates, debris and chaos and all of these different things as well, but it's just part of the process. This is what he wants us to see. He says, take note, for all around you opportunity beckons. There has never been a time on earth as bountiful as this. We have never had energy available to us as powerful, as supportive as it is right now, despite what we may be feeling on an individual level. The Atlanteans, the Lemurians, the energy that is around on the planet Earth now is well beyond where they were in those civilizations, well beyond it. And when we are attuned to this energy, which of course he goes on to say in a moment, we can make it work for us. We can really embrace this energy. He says that you may look around and see fear, greed, or control. But he's asking us to recognize that this is the desperate attempts to cling to a construct that no more holds its form than the sands of time. This 3D energetic construct that I've been talking about is just crumbling like sand. It can't hold itself together. What we're witnessing right now is just the end. That's all. He goes on to say, the end is nigh. The earth is entering a new spring, one where density dissolves and new and bountiful energy flows in abundance. He ends it, a choice lies before you. You may continue to focus energy into mourning the loss of your waning captors, or you may embrace the new paradigm. And this is a really interesting statement, and it hits quite hard actually, but I think that's the point, and I think there's some truth to it too. I have to admit, after we did that workshop, dissolving the third dimensional matrix, I wasn't myself for at least a week after that. It really took its effect on me. And there's something to this idea of mourning what was, although we know that the third dimensional system is not where we want to live. It's not where we're going to be going in the future, and it's full of problems. But it's also the only thing that we've ever known. You hear stories of people that that have been imprisoned for, or secluded for any reason for a very, very long period of time, and then they come out. They gain their freedom. They don't know what to do with it. All they've ever known is those experiences before, and whether it was a good experience or not, it's perfectly natural to mourn that, because it's change. Everything is changing at the moment, and there's something to be said for the safety and comfort of what you know, even if it's not what you like. Fear of the unknown is a powerful thing. At least where you know where you are, you can accommodate for that, you can work with it. But the unknown is the unknown, even when we know it's going to be as bountiful and beautiful as it's going to be. So he's saying, you may continue to focus your energy into mourning the loss of your waning captors, or you can embrace the new paradigm. You can continue to put your energy into that old system, which is what's kind of kept us oppressed as a species for so long. Or we can focus on this new energy. We can shift that perception within us. We can fill up that glass so it's half full. He says, align with its energy and become its conscious director, so that you may become the architect of a great and bountiful future. Never before has it been so important, really, focus our intent on what we want to achieve in this world, and really pour our energy, our positive, supportive, flowing energy into that, so that we can make it happen, because we manifest at such an unbelievable rate out there. And this is such a perfect time for this, as we're moving into a new year. Of course, we all set our New Year's resolutions for what we want next year, to bring what we want to do for us on a personal level. But it's a great time to set our focus on what we want to manifest for the year ahead. This is a great time to be journaling, to be writing down what it is that we want to do through the next stage of our life, and to really focusing on that. And the energy is there to support us to do it. It really truly is an incredible time, despite what it may seem out there. And I get it, this isn't a telling off or anything like that. It is what it is, and as I said earlier, we have to respect our own feelings. We have to recognize what we're going through, whatever that is, whether that is mourning the loss of 3D or anything. It's important to acknowledge those feelings, to understand where they're coming from, to accept that they are what they are. And it's only through doing that, from learning the lessons that we need to from that we can let it go and we can move on. It's such an important part of the healing process. So there we go. That is the message from Lord Lanto for the month of December. It's going to be a very, very powerful and beautiful month, and I really hope you guys have the most amazing time ahead. For us here at New in Art, there's a lot happening. Of course, this week on the 5th of December, I'm running my workshop, The Beacon of Hope, prompted by Satnat Kumara, where we're going to be working to anchor the energy of hope on planet Earth, to assist all of our sisters and our brothers out there who are struggling with that process, whether they're awakened or not, so that they can feel this same joy, hope and faith that Lord Lanto has been speaking to us of today, so that we can, as a collective, begin to focus our intent on creating that world. Again, whether people are awake or not, hope is such a powerful thing, and I think something we could do with a lot more of. So that's going to be a really, really beautiful experience. Next week on the 12th of December, I'm running my free Lightworker Ascension gathering, where we all come together as a group. It's completely unplanned. We have a chat at the beginning. We decide where we want to send our energy, or sometimes I'm guided beforehand. We shall see on that. And we come together, we meditate as a group, and we see what happens. And some truly remarkable stuff has happened. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to run one in November, so I'm so excited to be back again. That's on December 12th. And as I say, that's completely free, so come along, check it out. It's hosted online on Zoom. December 21st, of course, is the big night of the December solstice, and my brother Tim Wilde and I are coming together as usual to celebrate in this event and to assist with the teams of light with some truly incredible stuff that's happening that's going to, again, change this planet forevermore. So if you feel like joining us for that, again, I'll include the description down below. And lastly this month, actually the day before the solstice, December 20th, Archangel Metatron has stepped forward to offer us an opportunity really to integrate the power of the solstice on a personal level, to embrace the light that comes in during this period and really anchor all of the keys and all the codes, all the downloads, everything that's available within that light, just anchoring it within the body. It's going to be a really, really beautiful and enlightening and I think quite healing experience. And I appreciate there's a lot going on at the moment, so we are running that workshop at half the normal price. That one's only £6. So if you feel like joining me for that, that's on December 20th, and of course the solstice the next day. What a beautiful month we're in for. All of the links for all of that will be down below, or you can check them out on my website at david-essery.com. Just lastly to say as well, we are extending our sale a little bit longer, our Black Friday sale, and we're doing another week. So if you guys missed out and you want to check that out, we've got all of our previous workshop recordings, we've got all of our products, my artwork, we've got mugs, bags, cushions, journals, all sorts of stuff on there, lots of really powerful energetic tools. So if you feel like checking that out, again, david-essery.com, the links would be down below. Lastly, just thank you so much for watching. As always, if you've enjoyed this and you're not subscribing, please do like, subscribe. I share channel messages, meditations and stuff all the time, and I've got some really exciting stuff coming up I can't wait to share with you. Thank you so much, guys, from my heart to yours, sending you so much love, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.